Oh, look at that. That is definitely good. It is about time. It is about time. Let me see. Okay, everything is everything. Everything is good. That's good. That sound is good. Just like that. What's up, world? We're gonna have a good tonight. I will tell you. It's going down. This is like Pac said. This going like Pac said. This is going to be one of the lists that he was ever wrote. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Let's go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Keep your company down. Nice. We're gonna wait for a few people to get up in here. You know what I mean? And come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We're gonna let it get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. Go on, come on, get in here. Go on, come on, get in here. Get in here. It is going down tonight. You know, definitely going down tonight. They say tonight. Oh, tonight. I'm gonna make this a night to remember. All the glasses. Oh, Lord. We're gonna get this tonight. Come on. We good. Yes, we are good. There we go. We are good tonight. Yo, 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 yo. Does it sound clear? You know what I mean? So if you're on YouTube right now, I would like to know if does it sound clear? And if you're on Facebook, let me know if that sounds clear. Does it sound clear? You know what I'm saying? Give me a thumbs up. You know what I mean? It's still buzzing. Is it still buzzing? Trying to see where. Okay. So that's why they say never have a window open when you record. So if there's any feedback, will somebody please let me know? You know what I mean? Feedback meaning as in buzzing or things like that. Let's get it up and keep going. All right. Cool. So it is going to be a rough one tonight, but it's going to be good because that's why I started this podcast just exactly for this. Yeah. Okay. You got everything. You got a lighter. You got everything, Michael. Okay. It's a little feedback. So trying to take that feedback out because I can hear just a little bit in the mid. It seems like when I talk, that's when it goes. Chord is up. Sound effects is up. Everything is up. So come on. You gotta eliminate feedback. But hmm. Okay, cool. So I did all I can to eliminate the feedback. You know what I mean? This is gonna be a rough one. Because most of my experiences came from black people, and it is what it is. What it ain't, it shall never motherfucking be. You know what I mean? Because tonight a nigga got receipts. Do y'all see this? This is called receipts. This is called receipts. And I'm gonna show y'all these motherfucking receipts because I'm not playing. One of the main reasons why I started this podcast is to clean out my motherfucking skeletons in my own closet. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, though, it's to purge all the demons that's been plaguing me for all these damn years. You know what I'm saying? Because once I tell it, it's out to the world, and then it's not stuck in my head anymore. You know what I mean? And these experiences came from dealing with black women. My kids are black women. You know what I mean? The domestic things I went through with black women. You know what I mean? And it's not denigrating. It is just that's my experience. You know what I mean? And so you need to go get a drink. You need to go roll you a motherfucking blunt. If you smoke cigars, go get you a cigar. Because I'm gonna walk you through my life and show you the reason why I posted what I posted. You know what I'm saying? And not only that though, tonight is gonna be a humbling experience. Cause I'm gonna open up some scabs and some pus that's gonna come out. So go get your popcorn, go get your motherfucking mama, go get your daddy, go get your auntie, go get your uncles, go get your cousin, because tonight is a life lesson and it's a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? So here's the big because anybody else can just my ass tech, So we're gonna support the community guidelines. Let me go get a towel because the world getting checked tonight. You know what I'm saying? Black women getting checked tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, getting checked. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know? And today, woo, Lord, 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 Lord. I'm not gonna lie. Before, I got to pray on this one because I'm a spiritual man. I'm a humble man. I'm confident. I'm strong. I'm a leader. I go through life. If I tell you all of the things that really make me me, you may not even like me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell you some of the things that make me me, because in about 10 years' time, you'll know all the things about me. And then you could decide if you like me or not. You could decide that now. Shit. Um, I'll explain. I'm gonna open up why. Um, I'm gonna open up why I say two particular comments. When I say tell your mama, tell your sister, tell your mama, tell your sister, tell a cousin, tell a friend that the story did begin. There's something to that. When I say tell your mama I said hi and tell your auntie I said don't ask why, there's something to that. I'm the type of person, anything that happens to me, I design it in such a way where when I got built, bodybuilding, it wasn't to get big. It was to have a place to go to be safe, to lift weights, to run away from people who were bullying me. And then in the process of that, I learned things. I learned how to take my pain and everything and put it through. So before I get started, I'm gonna just let it build up a little bit because it is going down tonight. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do the intro in a second, but whoo, it is going down. You know what I'm saying? And welcome. So we're gonna start this out. Normally I don't do it like this, but I'm doing it like this tonight because my feelings got hurt today. And who hurt my feelings? My daughter hurt my feelings. And I just gotta set the motherfucking record straight. And I gotta check her. And not only check her, but check women in period. Black women in period. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're gonna get checked tonight. So if you don't like what's going on, it's going down. Because I only have kids by black women. And I haven't even opened up the podcast yet. So I'm just letting a few people come on in because, like I told y'all, grab a drink. You're gonna need a drink. Because I'm going to say some things you do not agree with, you do not like, and I don't give just like that. Just like that. You know? And you see that diamond ice? As that ice starts to get warm and give up its space to that alcohol, then it shall fall to the bottom and the ice shall be suspended in air. Life will always teach you something. You see how it's starting to break down? You know what I mean? That's how my life has been. You see that? You just the alcohol breaking the ice down and it's becoming one. You see that? And now it is one. And now you are a part of the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I got something to talk about today. We're gonna have to do it like this. You know, I'm gonna have to bring Yogi out. I like Yogi. I'm bringing Yogi out tonight. I was getting a little frustrated because one of my little equipments didn't work tonight. So we're gonna bring Yogi out tonight. You know, a happy face. Yeah, he's smiling. All my friends do most of the time. So I'm going old school with this 7 Up in the bottle. And if y'all don't know what this is, you'll never understand the joy and pleasure it brings to have one of these. So what's up, Angel? It is going down to motherfucking night. Because it is what it is, and what it ain't shall never be. And let's think, but you know, have a 7 Up, baby. Y'all don't know this. I gotta let y'all see this. 'Cause y'all may not understand this. You know, you know, have a 7 Up in a motherfucker's mind. You see that? Oh, that is so sexy. Just watch that. Kids of today will never know what this is. I got motherfucking receipts tonight. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I started this podcast to get my skeletons out my closet, to take these rattling ass bones. I'm telling. So y'all should go pull up some tonight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should go pull up some tonight. So tonight is not going to be one that's it's going to be deep. You know what I mean? And it's about trauma, and it's about life, and it's about love, and it's about moving on. And I'm going to tell you a deep part of myself. You know what I mean? And how it has translated into my adult life. So shit, y'all should strap up. It is going down. And not only is it about black women, black broken relationships, and callousness of a cold-hearted woman. Because I'm gonna tell you something. One of the most powerful beings on this planet is a woman. I love women. I respect women. I can't stand women. It's all of the above. But I'm going to open up to tonight because it's such a strong subject. I need my words, my heart, and my lips and my tongue to be guided by a higher power than myself. Because myself is biased. Myself is racist. Myself is selfish. So, if y'all just take a moment, usually I don't pray before I do this, but I'm gonna pray tonight because I need to. I'm going to speak the truth. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to speak my experiences. I'm going to speak my my demons, my points of breakage. I'm going to speak my life. and the things you don't know. I'm gonna let you behind the curtain because that's why I started this podcast. Because I'm tired of carrying these motherfucking demons. Because it keeps me in the dark, not feeling, up to par and everything. So let me pray on this. So I'm gonna open this. Lord Father God, I, Michael Coates, come to you on humbled knee with an open heart, an open soul, and a fresh mind and a new attitude, and always with the strength of 100 men to protect myself and protect those that I love and cherish and honor and bear. And although I've let some go, as I've learned in my trials and tribulations in life, and as I go through these sands and these high waters and these beautiful celestial plains, and as I lose people and love people, allow me to speak my truth for what it is, and not put anybody in no biased position and take them and do them dirty. Allow me to speak on a biased platform and hold and be accountable for all of my part in what I'm about to say. And as I speak my truth, I will hold my accountabilities for the things that I have done to others, for them to do things to me. Allow me to speak my truth wholeheartedly and honestly. In the name of the Father, the Son, and my Holy Spirit, let me speak my truth and believe that, you know, man, if y'all don't know this prayer right here, it's called a tongue prayer. It says, Lord, set a guard upon my tongue control today. Help me to evaluate each word and each thought before I say it. Amen. That's called a tongue control prayer because the mad me may say something inappropriate. The selfish me may say something that's self-serving to me. No, I'm gonna speak my truth. I'm about to speak my truth. You know what I'm saying? And if you read the motherfucker, and if you read the caption, let me tone it down a bit because I'm direct. Y'all gonna learn something about me today. I'm gonna walk you through my life from being a young man getting beaten on up to a man that's learned about life. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, let me do my intro. Let's go, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I would like to say what's up to Daryl Carter, Jacqueline Martin, Latrice Barksdale. Hey, Hillside, how you doing? What's up, Angel? My niece, I love you, baby. Kim Armstead, Kim Famous, the motherfucking Amos. I love you, sweetheart. Tonight, I will be speaking my truth, and I would like to welcome everyone on YouTube and Facebook to 1438 North Ninth, the only podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's a Hillside production, baby. And my brother Brian Fitzgerald Coates would like to say hi to all y'all from the celestial planes. If you hear me in your heart, you see him in your mind, he said hi. You know what I mean? And just let me give a big to all the black women out there. I love y'all, except for I'm going to speak my truth with the black women that have taken me through the things in my life. And like I said, with the prayers that I just said, I'm not going to be callous because I love my culture. I love my women. You know what I mean? I love any culture, and my culture has caused me a lot of pain. And I'm going to speak my truth on my pain and the things I've gone through and the relationships that I've lost, the relationships that I've thrown away. I am Michael Coates, and I'm going to speak my truth because if I don't speak it, then I'm gonna still continue to have these nights where where I destroy myself because I don't feel worthy, and I am worthy. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to say this. Uh, like I said, the main reason for starting this podcast, I'm a street talker, Gen X cross generational specialist. I speak my truth. I learned a lot on the streets. I learned a lot in the books, and I learned how to operate between both. I know I learned how to coexist between both. And a situation happened to me recently in Milwaukee where it almost changed the trajectory of my life. You know what I mean? In not the best way. So I'm gonna speak these truths, but I'm gonna speak what I put up on that post. You know, and I'm talking about broken relationships. From men and women, and fortunately and unfortunately, you know, all of my broken relationships, happen to come from experiences with black women. And I'm going to stand on it and I'm going to speak on it, you know? And it started from young. and I'm gonna start from point A, and I'm gonna lead you up into it. And if it's too heavy for you, get your ass off my motherfucking podcast. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and what it ain't, it shall never be. So, point A. When I always say, tell your mama, I said hi, and tell your auntie I said don't ask why. The reason why I say tell your mama I said hi, because when I was young, a lot of people, mama, they took the pickle from daddy. You know what I'm saying? Or just to say, when I was young, a lot of older women they finessed me in the ways in the art of love making. You know what I'm saying? So most would call it statutory rape. I called it shit, squishy, squishy. It was what it was. They always told me, shh, don't tell nobody, so we didn't. You know what I mean? So when I say don't tell you, go tell your mama I said hi, because I didn't, I don't fuck a lot of people, mama. So tell your mama I said hi, and tell your auntie I said don't ask why, because there was times where I was young and I was dealing with the women that their sister would be over, and that was somebody's auntie, and hey, it was a three-way affair. You know what I mean? So triangle, you know. Tell your mama, tell your sister, tell a friend that the story is about to begin. So that's what that comes from. I come from a time where we were groomed. Yes, I come from the time we were groomed. Quarter down, nickel pick. My cousin pussy just as good as any. I come from that time. You know what I mean? Alabama, Mississippi, Memphis, love him in the bayous type love. Does love come from outside or does love come from within? You know what I'm saying? Gunshots triggered and fired. Whew, we gonna talk about it. Let's tell it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a black man telling a black man's story. We didn't, I come from the time of incest. I come from a time of family love. You know what I'm saying? So if you get the point, we gonna go there. You know what I mean? And yeah, I've been groomed. I'm a hell of a motherfucker. I done been a pimp in my life. I done been some things. So let us start. You know? And like I said, you better go get you a blunt. You better go get you a motherfucking drink. Because why am I so mad today? Is because my daughter called me. And I used to have a wonderful relationship with my daughter. Her mother, Christy Latora White, destroyed that. And I'm going to explain how she destroyed that. Being the callous, vicious, vengeful woman that she is. And there are some women in this world, that can't keep a man because they like men. Some women don't want a man. They like men. And by what I mean by that, they are community. Oh, we're gonna say hey, check this out. So I'm gonna change cap. Big Michael Coach changed cap tonight. CAP stands for community ass pussy. So when I say no cap, I don't want no cap. That's community ass pussy. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. CAP, community ass pussy. That's what she was. Some women don't want a man. They want men. And that's how I'm going to say that. In a highly respectful way. Because a tramp is a tramp. She don't want a man. She likes men. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because as a man, I grew up and I like different type of women. Big booty women, little bitty booty women, nice breast women, no breast women, A cups, B cups, D cups, F cups. The biggest cup I had was a J cup. And oh my God. I tell you, boy, talking about Candyland. Whew. So, men like, tight vaginas, loose vaginas, long vaginas. Vaginas are all different. They like shoes. They fit different. They feel different. You know what I mean? You got Nikes, you got Pumas, you got Adidas, you got good pussy, bad pussy, low pussy, garbage pussy. Same thing with dick. Good dick, bad dick, low dick. You know what I'm saying? I've been through all phases. You know what I'm saying? When you drink too much, you got a soft Peter, so things like that. So I'm not knocking. I'm just saying what I've been through. And I just happen to, have a child by a woman who likes men and didn't want a man. So I'm gonna just put that like that, and I'm gonna get this off in a highly respectful manner. And like I said, I prayed on this before I spoke on it, so I know I'm anointed, and I know I belong here to speak on it because this is my truth. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna calm it down. So I had to put this in chronological order. Where the hell did I put that? Oh, I put it over here. I put this over here. You know? I put. Oh shit! Damn. Well, 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 that's that. Uh, oh, fuck. Nice, nice. That's not. That is not. That is not. Okay. But that one was a lot. Ah, definitely a lot. I'll take that. Well, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna take that in stride. That was Brian's shot. Brian wanted a shot. Hold on. I'm gonna take that in stride. Take that in fucking stride. Take that in stride. Yeah. Yeah. We gotta clean this damn thing anyway. I'm gonna take that in stride. I'm gonna say that was Brian's shot because usually I don't play that, you know. So we're gonna do this right here. I'm gonna do that again. I got a diamond ice cube. You know, you see that ice cube? It's a diamond. It's a diamond because I don't. I'm a grown man, so we're gonna do that like this, and just like I said. So fuck it. It's gonna be one. Oh yeah. Uh, so yeah, that was Brian's shot. You know what I mean? I hear you, dude. Cheers. Yeah, I'm gonna tell it like it is. So that was Brian's shot. Whew, and that's my shot. Mm. So, whew, let's talk about it. Yeah, because we wrote this down in chronological order. Because I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to speak it in the way in which it should be told. And I'm not going to speak it in a way that benefits me and make me look like I'm always the victim or somebody did something to me. This just the fucking way it was, you know? And hell, I probably was a victim, but you can't tell me that, you know? So let's get to it. So I'm gonna start you out. Me as the youngest, a youngin. You know what I mean? Born in Chicago, Illinois. You know what I'm saying? One of the best things that ever happened in life. You know? Let me pipe this shit up. Okay, cool. Well, number one rule: don't put liquids by electronics. You know what I'm saying? Don't put liquids by electronics. Just like that, and it happens. So I'm gonna start y'all off. Um, Born in Chicago, April 16th. It was a Monday. I was born in Florence Crittenden maternity home. My grandmother couldn't stand my mama, so what she did with her evil ass was put my mother in a maternity home because my mother wasn't living up to par. And her name is Irma Hilburn. So yeah, she pushing up Daisy. I love my grandmother, but she dead as hell. You know what I'm saying? And y'all can say what y'all want to say. You know, the woman never told me she loved me not once. And on, if you look on internet, I, and not no malice, because that's just the person I am. And fortunately, that is some of the things that she taught me, but did not fucking. Oh, that's the one I meant to hit. So, being born, my mother was the outcast. My grandmother rejected my mother for what reason I do not know. to this day, I still don't understand the reason why. My mother was the reject, and my mother carried that. And I hope I don't carry that, except for there's a lot going on. And by that happening, my mother was the reject. So my mother moved to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Before we moved to Milwaukee, I remember we was in Chicago. I remember some of the best times in my life. You know, I can tell you, everybody had afros. The trains were green and white. We used to go down to the arcade, downtown on State Street. All of the cabs were yellow or green. It was either yellow cab company or green cab company. And all of the cars were one make Chevy. You know, I think it was called the Golden Treasure or the Golden Nugget. We used to go down there, boy. You walk in there, it's dark, and you could just see like all of the video games being played on both sides. You could see, you could see people with the booty shorts. Everybody had the booty shorts then because they were so high. Nuts just drop out in a hot second. And plus, my nuts weren't even that big. They was like the size of pee-pees back then. And we wouldn't even think about getting hard. That was the farthest thing from the mind. And you had the Chuck Taylors on with the long socks up to the knees. It's summer and you hot as hell. You got Crisco on your face. You got your hair parted like Arnold on Different Strokes. And you vibe and you got $5 in your pocket. You feel like you're on top of the world. You got $20 on your pocket. You feel like a king. You go into the arcade. You see everything from Frogger, the Pac-Man, the Miss Pac-Man, the Galaga, Galaxa, Cubert, Frogger. You know what I'm saying? Asteroids. You can see the carpet. You see the man or the woman walking around with the change holder, with just with the chicka, 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 on the side of their hip. And you could feel the energy, and we were staying in Robert Taylor's at the time, and I remember we went outside one day and everybody was out there. They had their trunks up. My mother had on this white dress. Um, my sister was over by grandma's house because my sister stayed with my grandmother at the time. And my brother, where was Brian? Brian, where was Brian? Brian was by his father's house, Eddie Tyson. And I stay in Chicago and I got to get in touch with them. So on this particular day, my mother go outside. Gene was her boyfriend, light skinned dude. Never forget. They was waxing the car. The man shot him. Boom. Everything, a lot of blood and stuff went on my mother and I just remember her running. She took off like a bat out of fucking hell. The sound she made, I can never repeat. You know what I mean? I just know we was moving fast, and I just remember we kept moving, kept moving, kept moving, kept moving. And when I say kept moving, running into a car, into another car, into another car, into another car, into a van in Milwaukee. Just that quick. Just that quick. And what I known, what was as happiness, was gone, you know? And so we ended up in Milwaukee on 26 and Brown on the corner. We stayed above Tina and Jean. It was a brown house. And this is the first time I ever stayed in a house. All I knew was apartments. My grandmother had a house. My aunties and certain other people had a house, but we didn't have a house, and I really didn't know what a house was until we got to Milwaukee. And when we got to Milwaukee, then I understood, okay, we got our own room. You had to go up like 20 something stairs to get to our upstairs. There wasn't people hanging out on the corner and things like that. And when we got to Milwaukee, that's when the beating started. My mother used to be coolest. She always had a smile. She had this big ass afro. It was like an auburn. She had these earrings. My mother used to wear these vibrant colors, always smiling. My mama is pretty as hell, and I love her so much. And all of that was destroyed by my grandmother. My grandmother hated my mother. My mother, her whole life, she she tried to please Irma so much that I hated it. She kissed Irma ass like none fucking else, and I hated it. You know, and so in turn, what my mother did to mask her pain, she beat the fuck out of me. When I say beat the fuck out of me, I I I didn't understand then, but I understand now because I knew where the pain was coming from. You know, and I offered myself as a sacrifice. Like if this needs what needs to be done for her to smile, then let her beat you. So I just submitted. You know, and anytime something went wrong with Brian or Tashina, she beat the fuck out of me. You know, because she could hit me as hard as she want, and for some reason it didn't show, but I felt it. Like I felt the internal bruises and all that, but my skin wouldn't welt up at first or nothing like that. It was like I had tough skin, like um like a person who called himself a slave master would do to a slave. You know what I mean? The person that you can hit the most that doesn't show any sign of bruising, that's the person that you focus on. You know what I mean? So that's what I went through. And so to be beat the fuck out of, extension cords, brooms, broomsticks, brooms, fists, punch bowl and all that, my first sign of trauma came from my mom. So, the she would whip me with extension cord for like 5 minutes straight. You know what I'm saying? Because the type of welts that a person get on their arm, their back, their stomach, their legs, between their legs, or you know, you know, just inhumane. You know, and the hidden consequence of what she did to me, I don't talk to her, and it's unfortunate. I love her to this day. I love her today, to death. I don't fuck with her. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. So my first trauma came from a black woman. Just constantly beat the shit out of me. Like I feared my mama. You know, and I trembled. And you know, I don't think it should be like that. So my first sign of trauma came from her. You know what I mean? That was the beatings. So, it came from all sides. My father's side, my mama's side. We spent a lot of time together. We all slept in close quarters together. And sometimes in the dark, close quarters, things happen. You know what I mean? And I'll expound on those in a greater date. So that just lets you know that, it was beatings, fear, and grooming. Grooming from older adults, and kids. We only did what we saw. When we saw, older people fucking, we fucked. It is what it is, you know? And that's a part of grooming, you know, that stole my sensitivity, and when you have people that get you in places and do things to you, you in turn as you grow older, you do it to other people, or you're locked in this prison that you don't want to show nobody, that you're ashamed of, that this happened to you, and now you may not like it, but in some of your deepest dark recesses, you think about why it happened, or did it happen, or did you really want that to happen, or why was it you, or why did this happen to you? It's a hell of a dilemma, you know, and being groomed from youth to adolescence, you know, and always, when a person beats you for over 10 years, and you get away from it, the demons come back, you know, they come back around, you know, and, not only did, the brokenness that came from Irma, it went down to Michelle Shepard, who's dead. It went down to Naomi Drumgold, who is in a room probably dying like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And it went down to Bridget Shepherd. You know what I'm saying? It went down to Cesaria. It went down to the youngest daughter. It it went to Danielle. Danielle ran to Georgia. You know, Pooh. It went to Pooh, but Pooh went up to like Upper Wisconsin. You know, who else did it go to? Oh, went to Tashina. Went to Naomi. Who else? It didn't go to Karen. That's what I would say. And what do I mean? What went to them? Just the treacherousness and being callous and vengeful and vindictive women. So what Naomi and Tashina would do, you know, hold on. So let me. Yeah, so what Naomi and Tashina would do, and before then, I would, as I was growing up, I would bring women home. You know, well, not women, young girls. I was young, you know. So if I'm 13, I'm bringing home a 13-year-old girl or a 14-year-old girl, and I'm like, "Ma, this is my girlfriend." And she would be like, "Get that bitch out my house." You know what I'm saying? Get that hoe out my house. Get that pissy tailed bitch out my house. And I had to look at her. I'm like, "This is my girlfriend." She's like, "I don't give a fuck. Get them hoes out my house." You know what I mean? And I would look at her, and I remember one person in particular that I was truly liking. I remember we went outside, and I was like, "Don't worry about that. That's just my mama." She said, "No." She said, "I'm breaking up with you." And I was like, "Why?" She was like, "Mm-mm. I don't want to be around you. You know, thank you for letting me meet your mother." And, you know, that broke my heart, you know, because from that point on, it was only one woman. Her name was Chew, because I didn't get the fucking message. I kept bringing people that I wanted to love around my mother so she could approve of them because I thought that was the way. And with her broken hearted ass, she disrespected and shitted on and spit venom on them at every point. And then she used her sympathy game to always get money from them. And I remember one in particular, her name was Chew. And I just saw Chew like 2 years ago. And, you know, Choo Choo was very special to me. Very special. Very special to me. And my mother said some things to Chew, and Chew looked at me, and in front of my mother, she said, "Did you do this?" I said, "No, who told you that?" She said, "Your mama." And my mama looked at me and put her head down. And I looked at her, and I said, "She's not with me. She's against me." You know, because there's nothing I did that she can say to any woman that could, you know, make any woman not like me. So Chu was the only one that stood up to her, that didn't give her no money with her sympathy story and things like that. So I knew, you know, like, wow, that's crazy. So as I grew up, instead of going to my mother, I would take, you know, women to my sister and be like, you know, what type of spirit does she got? Is she good? Woo woo. And then, you know, I would always kind of leave them alone. And little did I know, my sister would be telling him that my brother ain't shit. My brother got girlfriends. My brother go with this girl. My brother go with that girl. My brother doing this. My brother doing that. Never did I ever think she would do that. So her and her motherfucking tag team partner, Naomi Drumgold, you know what I'm saying? Who, like I said, is probably in a nursing home up here in Chicago, probably half fucking dead in a nursing home, probably sucking on the afterlife. She don't know if she dead or motherfucking alive. So, you know, and these are my so-called relatives. They call themselves my cousins. I call these stupid bitches my relatives and my sister. And that's just how I'm gonna speak on them. So Naomi and Tashina would get together and form fucking Voltron and just get and tell anybody that I'm with, don't be with Michael. He's a player. He's this. He's that. But then when I come around, they be like, "Hey," my sister always say, "Hey, little brother." Whenever she said, "Hey, little brother," she just spit some acid on me. That's one thing I know about her. Whenever she say, "Hey, little brother," she just told somebody some bullshit about me. And Naomi, old trifling ass, would do the same. And they got that from Irma. It all came from Irma. Mm. It all came from Irma, you know? And so, like I said, I wrote this out because I'm going to give it to y'all in its entirety. You know, also, it stole my sensitivity. So I became insensitive to women because not only did my mother, my sister, and my cousins, they keep undermining me. They keep destroying relationships I want to build. Every time they see me happy, they come in and destroy it with their words, their lack of compassion, their lack of empathy, and the hatred of themselves. They always came in and destroyed my relationship. It destroyed my relationship with every girlfriend I had, everyone. And my daughter's mother, Christy Latour White, they destroyed that. And when you pull people to the side and this the person you say, oh, I love this, my sister, this my cousin, this my number one cousin, my favorite cousin, and your favorite cousin say that nigga ain't shit. That nigga got you, three other bitches, and another bitch online. If I was you, I don't even know how you live with the nigga. And these are the things that they used to say, you know? And, how did I find these things out at the end of the relationships? My daughter mother, she said, yeah, you remember that time over your auntie house in the basement? I was talking to your sister and your cousin Naomi. They told me everything about you, how many hoes you got, da 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 da. She was like, our relationship was done then. And I looked at her, I said, I know. I seen the look on your face. I said, I seen it. I seen it. And I knew my happiness was destroyed by Tashina Marie Coates and Naomi fucking Drumgold. You two fucking scavengers that's always trying to break me down to see me on my knees like my mama. Always beat me with extension cords and broomsticks and shit, trying to break me so I can be weak and crawling. God made me a man, you know? Even at 727 East 84th Street, uncle's pinning you in the back room and shit, trying to get you to do some malicious shit, and you did. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna tell. Yeah, I'm fucking William Hilbert. Yeah, we're gonna give up some motherfucking names. So, through youth and the adolescence with beatings, fear, groomings, and losing my sensitivity and getting out of touch with myself and becoming a conduit or a bag for people to use. Because obviously, when I was young, they used to tell me I had long eyelashes, pretty skin. I probably looked like a little fucking girl. You know what I mean? But I'm a fucking boy. I got the wrong equipment. You know what I mean? And I was told that a lot. My mother kept me in these long pigtails. I love my hair. My hair was gangster, you know? And, so going from a youth to my adolescence, as I'm growing, I've experienced pain. So, growing up, I'm going to take you, I'm age 15 right now. Now, I'm into relationships, I've put the trauma, I've hidden the trauma. Everything that happened to me in my grandmother's house or at cousin's house or on the floor, anything sexual, I put into a box and I hid it in my heart. And I'll talk about that on later date. So, 15 going on 16, I'm in Hillside, Wisconsin. There's a girl in Milwaukee, her name is Shalon. And there's also a boy in Hillside named Shalon Carr. Now, Shalon and Shalon Carr have no relation. I forgot Shalon, last name, the girl. Now, Shalon had a cousin named Yvonne Street. And the reason why I say Yvonne L. Street, because that's how much I respect her. And she recently passed, and I want to say, God bless as I speak on this story, Yvonne. I love you, sweetheart. You know, we went through a lot and we were too young to go through that. and it is what it is, you know. And like I said, this gonna be alone, you know. Boom. So with Yvonne, she dressed me. She taught me how to live. She had that little Honda Prelude or whatever. Yvonne was dressed. Yvonne, when she wore red, she had red leather gloves, red leather boots, red leather pants, red leather jacket. Her hair was whipped, whipped. Yvonne was the epitome of what the fuck style should be. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The epitome of what style should be, except for there was a flaw in the character. And that flaw was when I showed Yvonne love and trust, she would scratch my neck up and hit me. And I was like, what is you doing? You know what I mean? Because I saw my mother get her ass whooped, and I'll talk about that on another podcast. So I was already accustomed to seeing women get the shit beat out of them. But I was wondering why, because it shouldn't happen. Because dude is so strong, or my father is so strong. Why is he constantly hit my mother? You know? And so what Yvonne would do when I would show her love and affection, she would just abuse the fuck out of me. Finally, I got to the point where one time we was in the car and she bought me a lot of clothes. Like when we first met, she bought me clothes. I was a tramp. I was a bum. Yvonne finessed me. Yvonne dressed me. You know what I'm saying? Yvonne dressed me. I'm gonna honor that queen. She dressed me. She showed me, what it was. Stop eating so fast. Stop smacking. Sit up straight, Michael. I like you. You know, Beast. She come get me, ride me around. Or take me to eat. Yvonne, I love you. Rest in peace. I'm gonna give you your flowers. And even before you died, I tried to find you, but I couldn't. And 'cause I wonder how your life turned out. And unfortunately, not in time. And that's one thing I can't say I regret, except for we did have experiences. And so about 6 months into it, I got tired of it. And I tried to break up with Yvonne. Yvonne took her nails and dug into my neck. And that's the first time I put my hands on a woman. I whooped her entire ass. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't nice, it wasn't fun, but you got to stop hurting me. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop putting your hands on me because I am not my mama. I am not my mama, and you are not my daddy. And that's the way I seen it. And when I got her off me, she did a 360. That woman, she stayed with me the whole night. She did not go to sleep. I remember I was scared. She sat up at the end of that bed all motherfucking night. I was so scared to go to sleep. I was like, fuck that. And finally I said, fuck it, I'm going to sleep. And I had just seen a Farrah Fawcett in the burning bed. The burning bed, you know? And the next day she took me shopping. She took me shopping and she flexed on me. And I said, Yvonne, I said, why? When I show you love, you treat me like a punk. I said, but when I snapped out, you just gave me everything I needed and took me to eat, gave me some money. I said, why? She said, Michael, I want to know that you care. She said, if you didn't get mad, if you didn't put your hands on me, you fucking somebody else. I said, what? She said, if you don't get mad and put your hands on me, I think you with somebody else. That ended that relationship. I love you, Yvonne. I gotta tell it for what it is. And I went on. So as I go on and go forth, now I am that was 15. And like I told you, the first person that put trauma in my life was a black woman. And then my sister and my cousin, they want to tear me down. You know, and the physical, emotional, the mental beatings and the stress all came from a black woman. So as I go forth, and Yvonne, beautiful black woman, Yvonne L. Street, rest in peace. You know, I love you and I hope I spoke for your name with the highest respect. From there, we go to 19. Boom. I'm 19 in Milwaukee, selling good cocaine, moving around. My name is known in the streets. Niggas like me, niggas hate me. Bitches like me, bitches hate me. You know what I'm saying? Play the motherfucking song. And so I'm going through the dope game. I'm in the dope game. I'm deep in the dope game. I don't care about killing, slanging. It is what it is. I made my choice. High school graduate. I went straight from high school straight to the penitentiary. I don't know how the hell I did that, but now I know it was a design plan. So I was part of the pipeline, the pipeline to prison. How? They used to stop us every day, every day, every day. Disorderly conduct because we get you walking and a motherfucking hunky come up and say, and I say, yeah, a motherfucking hunky come up, and with all due respect to all the white people that I love out there, and the one that I love, you know, um, know that, you know, when people constantly, I felt like we was in Beirut or Lebanon or the Gaza Strip or things like that, because that's how these people policed us constantly, constantly, constantly. So on my way to prison, Priscilla Nash from Latin Park Projects, you know what I'm saying? Give my hand up, LPO, Latin Park Outlaws. You know what I'm saying? I think the projects are. And that's just because that's where we grew up with. And that's where these people forced us to concentrate. So 1923 with Priscilla. Now, mind you, growing up, Priscilla was fine as hell. Short, looked like a goddamn, looked like, whew, I don't know how she was born, but damn. For her to be so small, she packed a powerful punch. For her to be 4'9", she packed a powerful punch. And you know, and and I told Priscilla, I apologize for my accountability in our marriage because I married Priscilla. Priscilla, I was in the house of correction, and I had been digging Priscilla. I don't know how the hell Priscilla found me. I was in the house of correction. Priscilla found me. She came. She let me know I got your back. She stood when nobody else stood. You know what I'm saying? That was really, and I gotta cheer her. You know. So Priscilla Nash Coates, I honor you. I salute you for going through the hell and the life experience with a man called Michael Maurice Coates. You know, and I'm accountable for the things that I've done to you. And I'm gonna tell why and how it led to that. So, getting with Priscilla. I'm 19, 23, 19, no, yeah, 18 to 22. So me and Priscilla was married from 18 to 22. Now, being married to Priscilla, I met her brother. Priscilla had 3 kids, Aaron, Lil Melvin, and Marquita. They all grown now with kids. And I wonder how they came out. And, I pray that they're doing good. Now, Priscilla, Albert Priscilla, whew, you couldn't tell me nothing. Because at my lowest point, somebody reached for me. Somebody reached for me, and somebody brought me from the depths of hell. You know what I mean? And they she reached, and boom. So we get married in the house of correction. They took me from the house of correction to the county. We got married. Um, and in my heart, I said I'm gonna make this work. I said I got married. God damn it, I don't give a fuck where it was. I got married, and when I get out, I'm gonna have another ceremony where everybody come. That never happened, you know. So we get married. I go through my little 3 years, in prison, and we get out. It doesn't work. Me and Priscilla go through hell. I did everything, you know, and some women don't want a man. They want men. Priscilla was fine and is still fine as hell. When they say black don't crack, it don't age with rage. You know what I mean? You age with rage. But she was so soft hearted and kind spirited. And, I was really, growing into my pimping phase, all that. And I love Priscilla, but she wouldn't stop flirting. Priscilla would flirt with men in front of me. She would have phone numbers in her pocket and she would laugh about it. And she had the most joyous laugh when she laughed about it. I gotta admit, it was funny at first. It was funny at first until my feelings got hurt. I'm like, we married. So one day we on Green Bay, we on that's Capitol Drive and Green Bay Road. It was an automotive place over there. We standing in the automotive line getting our car fixed. We both got on matching guest outfits and marriage rings, matching guest outfits, matching shoes. We look like twinsies. God damn it, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that would give a person indicator that we're together. So she talking to this dude, and he hands her his phone number right in front of me. And I looked at her. I said, "Are you crazy?" And he was like, "I said, nigga, we got the same clothes on." And he looked. He said, "Yeah, y'all do." I said, "Wouldn't that tell you that she with me?" I said, "Look, we got the same rings." I said, "What's wrong with you?" And she was sitting there cracking the fuck up. And I'm like, "Priscilla, why are you taking me through this?" She said, "You got to show me that you love me." So, boom, we at the house over there on the east side. We tore that motherfucker up. Yep. I'm going to accept my responsibility and accountability. I lost my trust for her and I lost my respect for myself. And I became insecure. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I became in motherfucking secure. You know? And I'm going to applaud that because you don't, it takes a person to break you down to become insecure. And she broke me down. And once she broke me down, and I felt like she revealed a flaw in me that loving too hard can be a bad thing. I whooped her motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? I whooped her motherfucking ass. You know what I mean? And after I whooped her ass, I said, "Why do you push me to these points?" I said, "I love you." I said, "You dealing with another man will make me hurt you. So why did you marry me?" She said, "Michael," she said, "if you don't whoop my ass, I feel like you don't love me." I said, "Wow." I said, "Wow." I said, "I gotta leave you." I left her. I took the motherfucking car. I took the car and I went back to my mother's house and I started dealing with this chick named Danica G. So dealing with Danica G, you know, it led me to Beloit because Danica took me through hell. When I say Danica took me through hell, Danica had two kids, Mariah and Anastasia. I met her on 23rd and Center. My mother stayed on 19th and Atkinson, so I met Danica on 23rd and Center. Walking down the street, broken the motherfucker, but Shirley Temples was looking good. The Air Max was looking good. You understand? The socks is clean, drawers is clean. I had a full crease in my shorts. I was broke as hell, but my Shirley Temples was bouncing. And to this day, I remember Danica told me, she said, "You was looking so," she said, "You look like you was on top of the world. I said I was broke. I was broken in the joke without no hope, and I was looking for a chance to romance. And she started laughing. But anyway, so I'm walking down the street, broke as hell, going to 23rd and Center to mess with Trony, Larry and Bernard, because I know over there, I can get some hustle. I can put some work in, and at the end of the day, I could probably have $100. So I meet Danica. Boom, I go over there, make like 250, go back to Danica house, we kick it. She was going with somebody. She kicked him out, brought me in, boom, we moving. And let me tell you how Carmen is. Now, I thought I was, big bad motherfucker came in, kicked the nigga out, took his BX. You understand? His name was Keith. That was Anastasia's daddy, And I thought I did something slick. Boom, walking out and came up. This is, I'm going to tell you, when you talk wrong, I was taught to come up. So I feel like I done came up. Let me tell you something. Danica took me through motherfucking hell. Not only did Danica get me locked the fuck up, she retitled my car, sold my car, took my money, and a broke a nigga down. And then let me tell you how cold she was. While I was in the halfway house coming out of prison after dealing with a dumbass, because she called the police on me while I was asleep. I was working at UPS. We had got into it, put my foot in her ass. You know what I mean? Boom. She called the police on me. I'm asleep. I wake up. Police got pistols in my face. We're on 53rd and Concordia. And I'm looking. I'm like, what the fuck? So she said he got a pistol in his drawer, and there's 2 pounds of weed here, and there's a pound of weed over there. So they locked me up. So I get locked up. I get revocated. She retitled my car. The apartment was in my name. Everything was in my name. Everything was in my name. This is how cold the bitch was. This is how you get robbed. She got me locked up. Got the apartment put in her name. Retitled my Chevy because she knew what the title was. Sold my Chevy. Sold everything in my apartment. Lost the apartment. And when I was coming out of prison, I was at the halfway house, the Thurgood Marshall Center on 13th and Relief. So I'm about to get out. This bitch comes to see me. I let her come see me because I'm just looking at her. I'm like, okay, let me see. She come in. When I say Yvonne Reborn, remember I told you Yvonne had the blood red leather coat, the blood red shoe, the blood red leather pants, look, boom. Danica coming there. She was about 130 pounds, black as the most blackest, beautiful black that I've ever seen. Noir at its finest. Danica was so dark, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And I'm talking about her hair was cut into a bob. This is one, the salt and pepper bob. It's the salt and pepper bob. She had her hair dyed blood red. She had a blood red leather coat on with some high heel red high top shoes. She had this soft blood red. It was like a rayon outfit, but it moved. When she moved, it moved. Blood red fingernails, blood red lipstick. She looked at me and she said, "Sorry, I took everything from you. I had to do what I had to do at the time." And I looked at her and I said, "Why did you come see me?" She said, "I want you back, and I'm gonna take you back. I got you. You mine." And I looked at her. I said, "This bitch crazy," but she was on to something. So, make a long story short, I told Brian. I said, "Brian, when I'm leaving the halfway house, I'm about to go on a run." He was like, "What you mean?" I said, "I'm about to go on a run." I said, "I'm gonna call you, and when I say third base, I need you to meet me on the corner of Elite and so and so. All you gotta do is let me get in the car. Drive me to where I ask you to, and then you drive off. Don't ask me no questions. And I had been planning it for a minute because they was about to send me back to prison. I'm not going back to prison. I'm in my neighborhood, and you telling me I'm about to get back on a bus and go to prison? You can suck my motherfucking dick. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna walk out this bitch. So one day I'm into it with the guards, and I got my street clothes on because when you're in a halfway house, you can earn your street clothes. You get your street clothes, you get to carry $10 in cash on the property, but you can't leave the property. So I get my street clothes and I got $10 worth of quarters. I'm calling people. I'm just setting up things. I'm like da 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 da. You know, everything's coded. I'm like, okay, Buck Rogers, because when they come to see me, you know, I'm talking to them. I'm like, okay, when I say this, that, and this, da 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 da, they was like, okay, cool. You know, it's like I'm gonna call you when I say Buck Rogers. I need you here. When I say this, I need this person there. I need you to call this person. Da 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 da. And that's how I set it up. So same thing with Danica. She said, you know, if you don't put your hands on me, I don't think you love me. So, you know, fast forward, you know, that'll take me into 23, which leads me up to the reason why I put that up there, what I put up tonight. So that leads me to, you know, from Priscilla to Danica, Danica to Christy, you know what I mean? And there's a common theme if you haven't understood what I've been saying, and I hope you heard the common theme. Now, I'm in Beloit, Wisconsin. I'm on the run. I'm on the run. I go to my uncle William Hilbring's house, the same uncle that did the atrocities at 1727 East 84th Street. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that a motherfucker? You know? And so he let me stay with him. His girlfriend had some nice titties. She was crazy. Had the biggest titties I ever seen. You know, she used to be a stripper, and my uncle was in the army. You know what I mean? Hell of a soldier. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give him a big cheer. You know what I mean? Except for I found out something weird about people who get deployed. And on the night before they get deployed, there's something that they get to do. Hmm. Something I found out. Hmm. So, with that being said, boom. I'm in Beloit, Wisconsin. Fall in love with this beautiful young black light skinned chick named Christy Latour White. From Christy Latour White, she already had a son named Corian Tremaine LaJohn Brown. You know what I mean? Corian was about 15 months. Corian was just like me. He had long hair, it was in pigtails, he had the biggest smile, you know, and when you see a little black baby like that, little boy, and a bright future, a mother who cared, you know, she loved Corian. She loved Corian. And that told me that she loved his daddy a lot. You know what I mean? Because when you get with a woman who has kids and you see how the love is distributed, you know, you see how the love is distributed. And growing up in a household where the dark kids have to stay in the back room and the light skinned kids have to come out in front is one of the reasons why my family is so broken today. Because that hierarchy that existed at my grandmother's house exists in real life. It exists in our relationships. As we built our relationships, those hierarchical statements stayed. And that's why my cousin, my sister, and my cousins treat me like that because they feel like they're above me. They feel like that hierarchy still exists. Oh shit. Damn. Okay, see, we're gonna have to do it like that. Can y'all still hear me? Well, that's it's gonna have to dry out. Cause damn, that damn water. Hello? Yeah, I hear that. You can hear them moving upstairs. This microphone pick up everything. So with those hierarchical, you know, attitudes and attributes, you know, people think they can talk to you the way that other people used to talk to you, and they can't. So at least we still got that going. So if this thing starts tripping, I'm gonna have to let it dry out. Because Brian, Brian spilt an entire drink on the whole circuit board. I'm surprised it hasn't went out. I just been going, you know. So those hierarchical attributes, that's where they come from. And like I said, oh shit, don't you gotta let me make your sound card. You gotta let me make it. And so fall in love in Beloit, Wisconsin, and out of that came a daughter, Micretia Lashai Regine Coates, and Micretia was born except, well, we're not gonna say except. So I get to Beloit, Wisconsin. I'm on the run, living at my uncle's house. I get a little job at so if it started tripping, that's because I spilled the drink on my sound card. It's still working, but hell, it's gonna go through it. Lord, let me speak this. Let me get this out. Let me get tonight out. Um, so I start working at Reynolds Aluminum. I'm on the run, but I was like, fuck it. I've never been on the run, so I didn't know how to be on the run. So I got a job. Oh shit. No sound. Let me see. Damn. Well, at least y'all can still hear me. So it's gonna go through it. So if my sound card goes out, Brian spilled the drink on it. Dude, why you spill the drink? And yeah, I got receipts. So this might be more than one night. No, we're gonna keep this one night because this is a fucking deep subject. So coming from there, you know, coming from there, you know, got with Christy. Damn. Oh, it's starting to trip a little bit. So it's gonna go in and out. So let me just turn it down just a little bit. So when it does hit you with the echo, like I said, spit the whole damn an entire drink on there. So hey, fuck it, let it do what it do. Might be Brian speaking from the afterlife. It is what it is. What it ain't, it shall never be. Let me see. Oh, we got it back. Let's go. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? And if you just now tuning in, I would like to welcome you to 1438 North Night, the one and only podcast. You know what I'm saying? And I am your voice of choice, the one and only Michael Coates with the Calm Conversation. Friendly, that should be, and it's a hillside production. So we just go and get just like that. We speaking in the real, and I'm talking to, my experiences growing up and my relationships, the broken promises and you know when you're not honored for your efforts. All of my peers, when I see them on Facebook and things like that, I see them taking their kids to college. I see them taking their kids for other things. And, I post, but you never see me post a picture of my kid, my daughter, my son, because of broken relationships. And when I do post them, I got some receipts to show you, because when you deal with a callous woman, and that just happened that my kids are by black women, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give my black queens a big kiss, except for I just choose not to deal with you because over 15 years, my mother's a Virgo, my Christy's a Virgo, and Tyrell mother's a Virgo. You know what I'm saying? That's Tyann. Now, how in the Frank Butter did my mother's September 13th, Christy September 3rd. Tyann is September 5th. They both stay in two smaller towns. One is called Beloit, Wisconsin, and one is called Kankakee, Illinois. How the frankfurter did I do that to an Oscar Mayer winner? Man, you know what? My heart is not heavy. My heart is not heavy. And the reason why it's not heavy, because I haven't closed the door on my daughter. I'm not going to sit here and say that. I'm not going to ever close the door on my daughter. You know, except for there are hard lessons that need to be learned, and respect must be given and motherfucking shown. Just like that. And I demand my respect because I'm a hell of a man, and my daughter is my everything. And little do she know, her blessings are right there. Except for she been bamboozled by her own mama. You know what I mean? And that's not cool. You know, that's not cool. You know, so so let's keep going. So I'm with Christy in Beloit, and Beloit, Wisconsin. That is, it's on the state line area about south of Beloit, Illinois. You know, and got a lot of money down there. You know, and damn, you know, messing with Steve, Cowboy Porter, all them, man, it was a mother. So Beloit, met this dude named Chris Bell in prison. And he told me he was the king of Beloit. I thought he was lying. So I end up in a town called Beloit, Wisconsin, and I know this fat dude named Chris. We talked. He take me to his store. Nigga give me 2 ounces of cocaine. Boom. And a ton of FUBU clothes. I'm in there on fucking 10. A relationship that I built in prison then manifested in real life and it did me well at the bottom what I thought was a bottom point in my life was just a transition. You know what I mean? So I was talking to this chick named Shanna in Beloit. Shanna, she was fine as hell, light skinned, banging. Talking to this other chick, she was a total whore, but she was fine as fuck. And I was on her heels. And I always seemed to go after the ones that got the problems, back then. So I ended up with Christy, which I thought was a pick in between, and that I could get away from my old self and stop just going for the shiniest motherfucker, except for coming from a dope dealing background and not having nothing. But when I started slinging that motherfucking cocaine, you understand, my hair grew long, my nails grew long, and I'm talking about I was the most likable motherfucker I know. I had jewelry, I had cars, I wasn't starving. I learned how to have sex and not just come so quick in 2 seconds. I learned how to stop, hold my nut. You know what I'm saying? All that. I learned how to live, goddammit, because all the grown women that was fucking me was teaching me a lot. You know what I mean? They'll suck a nigga dick and be there, just stop. And you be like, keep going. They be like, calm down, son. Calm down. I'll be like, why? They be like, calm down. They get it back up again. They be like, calm down. I was like, oh, you don't want me to calm. I need to control it. So then I learned how to drive the motherfucking car. Then I learned how to break a motherfucker back. You know what I'm saying? You know? So it is what it is, what it ain't, it should never be. I'm giving you an insight into how Michael Coates grew up. And let me speak the truth. And to Priscilla Nash Coates, like I said, my first wife, I wouldn't say that's the only one because I ain't dead yet. That's the one that I went up to the altar and said I do, and we got a dissolution of marriage. And she kept the last name. I want to say I apologize for all the physical abuse I put in your life and the mental abuse And whatever accountability you feel that I have from you, you know what I mean? That's my 50% of that 100% of that situation. And I've told you that before, and I'm gonna tell the world. You know, we were taught different things, and I accept my accountability because to break from you, I felt the need to physically put you in your place, and that was wrong, and that was what I was taught. But I take my accountability for that, you know, and that's to my only wife that I've ever had, and I own that, you know, and we keep going. So I'm employed 23, you know, and Christy get pregnant, get out of prison. So, you know, like I said, well, um, we had our ups and downs. Now, Christy and I get together. Let me tell you, this Christy and I get together. I feel like it's the best thing since sliced butter bread. You know, she lived in an apartment, Corian. I think we were over there on White Avenue. I think White Avenue or some street, whatever that little street was. So her landlord was trying to fuck on her. You know, so I took pictures. You know, we sued him and moved. And you know, when I got to know her, I know she didn't like her stepfather, Troy. So I used to wonder why she didn't like her stepfather, Troy. Her mother's name was Regina Sanders, is Regina, because Regina's still living. And rest in peace, Mark. I miss you. Sharon is her brother. Tracy is with Sharon. Mel is her auntie. And Mel has Erica, her only daughter. So Mel is staying with her mother, Regina, you know. And Sharon and Christy was like super close. She used to always sit on his lap. And I used to always get mad at her and tell her, like, you don't sit on your brother's lap. You know what I mean? That's disrespect. Check this out. So that's when our problem started, you know. And I wasn't used to dealing with people shout at me for 2 hours. 2 hours. I was trying to get away from the things that I had been through with Priscilla and Yvonne and being beat. You know what I'm saying? My goal was to change my narrative. My father has over 16 kids. You know what I'm saying? And he can't even keep up with all the motherfucking kids he got. So I made it my business not to be a man who had a ton of kids everywhere that he didn't know. I chose to be a man that had some integrity. I chose to be a man, even though my father's name is Samson Jack McKinley and my name is Michael Maurice Coates. I honor my father, except for not in the ways that he's become a man with his malicious steps and creating kids and not taking care of them, you know. And he even did 20 years in Menard Penitentiary, got out and had four more kids and still didn't take care of them. Jakaya, Jaden, and two more. You know, four more broken generations. This man keep creating with the fact that he can produce the seed to reproduce people. And it's unfortunate. And I have no respect for my father, you know, and it's unfortunate. And yet, you know, my goal was and still is to be the best man I could be, to walk with integrity with my head high and not have that Pepe Le Pew, you know, feeling that I'm not a good person, you know? And just things like that. So I choose to walk in a high step. I choose to have God first, and I choose to be a gladiator. I choose to protect myself and not let people harm me or do something to me. So, dealing with Christy, falling in love with her, when we in Beloit, Wisconsin, pregnant, have a baby. I'm big as hell, and I'm gonna show y'all some pictures. You know, so now we're gonna get into the receipts because when you're dealing with a broken-hearted woman that's callous and that will do anything to break you and she used 20 years of her life to cause me pain. And with all of these, do you see this? Do you see that? These are called affidavits. This is what you file when you trying to get custody or you trying to see your child. You know, this is just a small step. So let me show you what was taken, you know, and what broken relationships do. So you see this right here? That's Corian, Micretia, and myself. You see how big I am? I'm only that's only a slick 350. You see that? You see how they smiling? They love me. They love me. You see my daughter? She is now a mother herself. That's my niece Nyla. Nyla is now 18. Nyla, the baby, is now 18, and my daughter has a son that's 5 years old. You see that? You see how when my sister looked like she was loving and can be, how she a pretty cool person when she want to be. Look at my daughter and look at my niece Nyla, the great niece. Nyla is my great niece. That's Toya's daughter, Latoya. You know, Latoya is my sister's daughter, and that's whose baby that is. She just had her. And do you see this? Do you see how my daughter loved me? Do you see that? My daughter loved the hell out of me then. She loved me with her whole heart. Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that? She loved her daddy. I'm telling you that. You see Koya? Corian is now doing 52 years in prison. Corian been locked up for about 8 years. About 8 years. And I hope he gets some of the time back. But broken relationships, you know? Look, they love the hell out of me. Can't say they don't. You know what I mean? And you know, because once I got tired of going through the rigmarole and the bullshit and the ups and downs, you know, of domestic violence, of dealing with a woman who doesn't want to be faithful, of dealing with a woman who wants to sleep with many different men and don't want to have one man, I got tired. When I got tired of the domestic violence, when I got tired of the fighting, when I got tired of throwing her ass through motherfucking walls, I left. Because one thing in the Bible, it said love doesn't hurt, love doesn't condemn, love doesn't break you. It said love heals, love nurtures, love bonds, love cares. So the things I learned couldn't be love. You know what I mean? And you know, to deal with a person, I was with my daughter's mother from the birth of my child all the way up to 11 years old. I'm talking about I was in the house. In the house. I was in the house from birth to 11, in the house, mowing the grass, moving. I'm talking about when we didn't have power, I stole electricity from the people next door. You know, I made a way. I made sure to stock up on ramen noodles and canned goods in the good times. Because in the bad times, they never knew. They never knew. They never knew. They never knew. They didn't have to go to bed with sugar water and syrup sandwiches and government cheese and eat government cheese for 2 or 3 weeks straight because you ain't got no motherfucking food. They didn't know what that was. I had to produce, and I did. And when things didn't go right, I remember she told me when I was coming out of prison again. You know what I mean? Because she was with me when I was hustling in Beloit. She was with me when it was all good. She was with me when it was thousands. I bought her a ton of stuff. We before we had our first fight, we would be in the house. We moved on Kenwood, 541 Kenwood, and you know I had cars, everything. So one day we arguing. She tearing the motherfucking house up. I'm talking about she throwing everything everywhere. We had what you call a cornerstone picture. It's a picture that you take of the family. We went to Rockford to take it. It was her, Corian, and Lucretia and myself. And little did I know, Lucretia was sitting in my right hand, and I had my arm around her, and Corian was in her left hand. So we arguing, and the frame cost 250. I mean, it was a cornerstone picture. The thing, I don't know the size, like 10, 15, 15 by 24. But it's something you call a cornerstone picture. When you walk in, it says, "This is our family. This is ours. This is our family. We built this family," you know? And I was proud of that picture because from all the bullshit that I came through, I have built a family and I am sustaining it. I'm leading it. I'm not out. I'm honest. I'm loyal. Whatever I've done in my past, let it come to me. I accept my karma. Allow me to keep moving in this beautiful space. I never knew life could be so good, except for she tearing this house up. And this is the third house that she tearing up because my goal was not to put my hands on her because I had already had instances with Priscilla and Yvonne and Danica. I was like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm just like Jack. You know, all this domestic shit, I gotta stop this shit. And so she would just go crazy. And I tell her, like, I can't deal with this. You're killing me. I'm stressed out. So she took the picture, she broke the frame, and she said, I hate you. And she ripped the picture right down the middle. And one thing, I'm a person, I'm a spiritual person. I look at signs and symbols and everything. And when she ripped the picture in the middle, it was my Cretia and myself on one side, and her and Coriana on one side. And then after she calmed down and everything, and she tried to glue the frame back together and put the picture back together, I said, how you gonna put the glass back together? She said, I'm gonna buy new glass. I said, but you can still see where you ripped it down the middle. She said, that's okay. I said, no, it's not okay, because I know it's there. I said, you ripped our family apart. And sure as shit stank. By the year, I moved the fuck out, you know? And, after not wanting and getting tired of dealing with women who want to fight or women who think that I should put my hands on them and that's love. I really felt like I was in a living hell. Like my Groundhog Day just keep going and going and going. Like what did I do? Am I a leper? Am I made to go through life and be with people who constantly break me down and condescend me and just rip me apart? Am I just a sacrifice? You know what I mean? And when I got away from that, my life started to take off. And instead of, I had to go against her whole entire family, the state of Wisconsin, and all of that. You know? And y'all see these folders? I'm gonna read y'all something. This is just one of the motions. Okay? It says, yes, Commissioner, I think I found a few that would not apply to the total sum of arrearages. I might have to learn a CPAP review them as well. And then I said, also, I'm seeking relief due to the defendant's participation in contempt for over 8 years. The defendant's actions have gravely damaged my relationship with my daughter. 7 years of being illegally denied communication and visitation. I wasn't informed of defendant leaving the state of Wisconsin. And then I listed Wisconsin State Statute 767.327, 946.715, 948.31, 822.02, Section Sub 9, direct violation of the, it's called the JOP. That has criminal invasion, concealment of a child over 7 years period, illegally misleading child support to receive funds while an Illinois resident. You know what I mean? Oh, it's called a judgment of paternity. So, in paragraph 16 of my judgment of paternity, paragraph 16, paragraph 17, subsection 1, paragraph 2, 767.62. You know, when I say receipts, this is heavy. This is only one. This is only one. That's only one. And I was gonna burn this today. I was gonna burn all this shit because I'm tired of it. And this is the other one. And there's 4 more in my closet. I can't even tell you how much of my money, how much of my time, you know. I'll tell you, you know, and one of the things that going through this fight when I had to fight the state of Wisconsin to see my daughter when she wouldn't let me see my daughter when she played games and things like that, you know. And one thing I asked her one day, I said, "Why did you take me through all this?" She said, "If you don't fight me, Michael, I don't think you love me." And that's what Christy said. And I was like, I gotta get away from this type of woman. I said, I need to run as fast as I motherfucking can because in my life, and I was all the way up to 32. I was up to 32 because I told you 23. I was all the way up to 32. I went back to prison, got out of prison, came back to Illinois at 34. That was 17 years ago, and I ain't looked back. You know? And it's something. If I gotta put my hands on you, if I have to be scratched up, if my car has to have water in the gas tank or my windows busted out or nails in my tire, I do not have to be afraid of a woman because I ain't gonna never be afraid of a motherfucking woman. You know? Except for my daughter, my most precious gift, my seed. I took care of Corian Tremaine LaJohn Brown. And Dewey died. That was his daddy. I'm his father. Marquisha, I'm her everything. Did Christy cheat on me? Hell yeah, she did. Was she living with a nigga when I got out of prison? Hell yeah. Did she have mail coming to their house? Yeah. What's the nigga name? Tony Walton. TONIWALTON. The month she got pregnant, she was fucking 2 niggas. And I remember that day vividly at Beloit Memorial Hospital. They said, "Do you want a blood test?" And I had the papers sitting right in front of me. I looked at her. She was breastfeeding my Creature. I looked at her. I said, "Is that my baby?" Be honest. You're dealing with Tony. You're dealing with me. I just choose to be the better choice because I'm working and I'm not. I said, "Be honest. Is that my baby?" She looked at me with her heart of hearts. She said, "Mike, this is your baby." And she looked at me and she said, "You know, I'm gonna be honest. As a woman, this is your baby." She said, "I may have hurt you, but this is your baby." And I signed that birth certificate, with confidence, knowing that I didn't take that blood test. And it was something in me saying, take the blood test. But I said, no, I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm not going to be my father. I'm not going to be one of these niggas that say, that's not my child. No, I'm going to take the responsibility, the sexual responsibility that I'm living with her. We having sex on a daily basis. I'm always around her. I don't have to be, except for that's just how we are. Now I'm gonna take that responsibility as a young black man, and I'm going to vouch for this child. And as we went through life, our ups and downs, and we didn't make it, and I've done my best, and I accept my responsibility and my accountability because as I lost trust for her, I wanted to be away from her. You know. And when you lose trust for somebody, when you lose love for somebody that you've been with for 5, 6, 7 years, you look at them differently. You look at them very, very, very differently. They look alien to you. You've lost respect for them. And you're trying to figure out why you're still with them. You're trying to figure out what still makes you smile about them. If you leave, you got so much time in that you'll be a fool because if you can work it out, it could be even better because where there's ups and downs, there's also calm seas and smooth roads. That's called life. And if you go through ups and downs with a person and you make it through those ups and downs and you become closer and you become a unit and you know what not to do to keep this special person in your life, then you have learned and life will bless you. Life will bless you. It will. When you have to have such a variety that your appetite is salacious, then you're lusting. You are in the way of the world. I lived a hell of a life, and I'm still living. So, from birth to 50, everything that I've been through has been with a multitude of cultures, except my most horrendous and torrential culture has come from the hands of a black woman. From my grandmother, to my mother, my sister, my cousins, women that I'm dealing with. At some point, I told myself, I said, I gotta check out, you know? And that's just being honest. And you're truly correct, Kim. You gotta know when to hold them, and you gotta know when to vote them. You gotta know when to walk away, and you gotta know when to run. And when you sit at the table, you better count your money, baby. That's Kenny Rogers, you know? Then the dealing's done. And I'm just being honest. And like I told y'all, you know, this is a 1438 North 9th Street production, goddammit. My name is Michael Coates. They call me Conversation. My brother Brian Fitzgerald Coates from the Celestial Plains would like to say hi. Because, like I told you, I'm going to use this platform to clean out my motherfucking closet. Don't you hear those skeletons, those skeleton bones shaking? I'm 51 now. Life is one big yard. I think you live about 100 years. I'm going to use the rest of these. I'm telling on everybody and everything that has been a heel in my life, that has kept me in the dark, tooting cocaine and drinking and just shit. I mean, hell of shit. I like to experience the mind and the body. So popping mushrooms, doing crank, popping acid. I did all that back in Vincent in high school. We popped teas and blues and shit. We was fucking with people's medicine cabinets and getting sick, drinking Cisco and wine, all that. You know? So, no, it's not about, you can do any type of drug. Pussy is a drug. Love is a drug. Abuse is a drug. You know? Too much of anything will kill you. And I've been a part of a soap opera for too long. And my daughter called me today, and at first it was good, except for my daughter has not introduced me to my grandson. My grandson is going on 5 years old. She talked to me like I'm her friend. And I told her today, I asked her some questions. I said, how do you think I feel? She said, I said, I said, empty without you. I said, you're my heart. You're my baby. I love you. I'll do anything for you. I said, these are the times where we should be having trips, having lunches. I'll drive all the way to Rockford just to have lunch with you and come home. I just want to see you, you know? And, there's these some things in place. Like when I die, she should benefit. And, it's things like that. And it's a lack of attention. And I asked her, I said, I told her all that. I said, how do you think I feel? She said, I said, I said, hold on, what did I say? I said, do you respect me? She said, you gotta earn my respect. I said, no, I don't. I said, my respect is given. I said, I gave birth to you. I took care of you. I said, I got receipts. And you gotta earn a goddamn thing. I said, your lack of respect. I said, your mama is talking. I said, it's unfortunate that your life has been stolen from you. I said, I'm doing my best to let you know that I love you. I'm doing my best to let you know that I care. She said, well, you should have went to court. You should have fought for me. You should have had hearings. You should have had, huh? Huh? I went fucking broke. I went fucking broke. I took that bitch to court so many times. And Wisconsin is a woman, infant, child state. I'm a smart man. And in the Constitution, it says you have the right to defend yourself. So not only did I learn how to defend myself because of the times that I've been to prison, And me being in the law library, I learned how to draw motions. I learned how to file. I learned how to create an argument. I learned how to talk to the court. I learned how to give rebuttals. I learned how to quote case law to defend my point, to sustain my point. I learned. I helped about 10 people get out of prison and cut their sentences down while I was still in prison. In the 3 years, I went to prison 3 times and did 3 years each time. And the crazy part is when I helped people with their emotions and found loopholes and things like that. And when I had a problem and I needed to go to court, I went straight to the court and filed the motions, made the copies, got it sealed by the notary, got it witnessed, and got a motherfucking court date. You know what I'm saying? I am a highly intelligent man, and when I'm faced with a problem, I need to find a solution that's applicative to the problem, so I can get some relief. Each one of those judges, even when she moved from Wisconsin to Illinois and kept my daughter residence in Wisconsin, and I fought tooth and nail. One judge told me that I wasn't a lawyer and to come back with a lawyer. And what did I do? I filed a motion against the judge with the Bar Association. You know what I'm saying? He was discriminatory in me representing myself. I'm highly aware. I could represent myself. I'm fully competent upon any type of contingency that the court can give to me. He got mad because I filed that against his punk ass. And then I refiled my affidavit and got her ass back in court. He looked at her, he said, "Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen to you." I said, "Can we let the record reflect that?" He said, "I want that stricken from the record." I said, "That's improper." You know what I mean? He told me, he said, "You're not gonna get anything." He said, "Furthermore, the hearing is over. Come back with a lawyer." I said, "I can represent myself." He said, "I don't respect you." And ended the damn. And she had so much help with Beloit, Wisconsin. Those white people did not like the fact that I represented myself. They hated the fact that I was fighting the system to get my daughter out of the hands of a callous, evil black bitch. And one thing I'm gonna tell you something: when you hide kids from a man, that child is either in a house or in a room. That child is a prisoner. That child is not learning the relationships they're supposed to learn where they can have critical thinking skills to make proper decisions with an emotional value as they get older. How do I know this? Because I'm going through this. My daughter broke my heart today. The only way she can repair what she said today and the things she said is by showing up at my front door and saying hi. Simply saying hi. Simply. And she probably won't know that because she won't see this podcast. And if she do, then she'll understand. You know what I mean? I sent her a ton of pictures, a ton of affidavits. You say I didn't fight for you? I didn't fight. I went broke. I worked 80 hours a week, paying lawyers to help me. Boom. And then the lawyers that I did go to court with, they was like, "This is a Wisconsin matter. We will not go over the state line." Then the Wisconsin lawyers that I did hire, they said the time of appropriation had run out. And when you talking about a man that felt defeated, fighting the system for my daughter, you know, and my stepson, when he turned 16, he called me. He told me he was gonna shoot me. He was gonna kill me. This and this, that, and other. You know, and he started hanging out with his daddy's other sons. So what did they do? They was in Beloit, Wisconsin. They went to a car lot, stole each one of them stole a brand new truck. They went out to this little suburb, this little affluent part of South Beloit, Illinois, called Roscoe and Rockton. They robbed 3 houses, filled up all the trucks. They get to the third house. The people come home. They tie the man, woman up, elderly couple, shoot their little Pomeranian. You know what I mean? Then he shot the judge. Well, shot the man in the leg. The man turned out to be a fucking retired Rockford judge, district court judge. They hung all 3 of their ass. So him and 2 of his stepbrothers, all in the penitentiary in Illinois, Pinckneyville to be exact, 23-1. And I'm glad he had a son. And I don't even know his son's name, but I raised him. And the lack, the lack, of me being the lack of my awards for living and taking care of other men's kids, the lack of my, awards for being a damn good father to my daughter and doing everything I can to deal with an evil-hearted woman. I actually give it up. I give it up. I give it up. I'm done. There'll be no more nights of tooting powder, not feeling, confident about where I'm going on in life. There'll be no more ugly mornings of me waking up feeling great and hollow. My Marquisha Lashai Resonate Coach, I release you, Queen. And I love you. And as you go through your trials and tribulations in life, know that I fought for you. Know that, I fought for you. Except for the way that you treat me, it might not be mine. Because if you were, you wouldn't shit on me the way you did. In all these years of living, it might just be that possibility. Because if you love me the way that I know you do, there has to be a memory in your heart of who I am and what I imprinted on you as my daughter. There has to be. There has to be a beacon. There has to be a beacon that'll lead you home to daddy.